Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Logan Horsted from Monefly, and I'm here to present tonight's webinar on using Monefly to basically create wealth and elevate your financial health. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night. I look forward to taking you through all the tools. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we start. We will be having a question session, which you are able to do throughout the webinar, so you're able to lodge any questions that you may have directly through the GoToWebinar software. You'll also notice that there is a handout button. Within that, you will find a digital business card with all my contact details. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, or you'd like to send me an email, please feel free to do so. All those details are available directly through the handout session. Otherwise, please feel free to ask questions as we're going, and I will get to them as we're moving through. So we'll get straight into it with that said, and thanks again for making the time. So if you want to know what Monefly's purpose is, Monefly is here to enable personal financial health and wealth to be understood, managed, and continuously improved in collaboration with professional advisors. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how that actually works and how you can benefit from having these relationships with professionals, but also how you can use the tools themselves to better your financial position. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Logan Horsted. I'm the head of sales at Monefly. Spent the last 10 years in property, business development and sales type roles, heavily focused on building wealth through property. So I started my role with Monefly prior to launch. And my main objective here is to build a prosperous experience for both our personal and professional users. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about how we can do that tonight. Just so you know a little bit of background about our business, David House was the founder and managing director of. He spent the last 30 years in growth and leadership type roles, founded an ASX-listed business, real estate investor, under the code REV. We previously worked together, as did Justin Davey on the right-hand side of the screen tonight. He spent the last 17 years in very, very high technical roles and is currently Chief Technical Officer as well as an Executive Director within the business. So he's really done a lot with enterprise and subscription service startups, and actually is paving the way forward for all the technology that you see with Monefly. Also, our chairman, Murray Lees, who spent the last 30 years in the financial services sector, actually launched Connective, which is one of the largest mortgage aggregator services in Australia right now, and even has a business, that's attracted a 25% investment from Macquarie Bank as well. So, as you can see, with the experience that we have within the business, we have walked all of these paths that you guys are probably taking yourselves in wealth creation, and we really look forward to showing you how you can use these tools to better that position as well. So why do we exist? 212%. That is the percentage of household debt as a percentage of disposable income in Australia right now. So this is quite a significant figure when you think about it. 7 million Australians have no savings, and 16 million credit cards are in distribution right now with a cumulative debt of $208 billion. So 48% expect to run out of money in retirement. And right now we've got lots of data available to us. It's been thrown at us nearly every single day, and I'm sure that there's a plethora of data providers out there that you guys may be using. But there's no real intelligence around what you can actually do with that data and how it benefits you. So we're hoping to change that, and again, using the tools, you should be able to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make tonight a little bit interactive, and we would just like to ask the first question is, do you expect to have enough money for the retirement that you want when you retire? So I'm going to launch a poll on screen, and you guys will be able to vote yes or no. And look, no wrong or right answers. It's just a general question, and then we'll share the answer with obviously the rest of the audience as well. So it's good to see and get a breakup, and the people that think they're actually going to be covered in their retirement, and the people that don't. If you're using those tools, hopefully you're voting yes. I hope that is the case, and then you guys would obviously be utilizing our tools to springboard you into that. All right, so I'll just close that one off. All right, so we had 67% of the audience vote, and we had 84% say that yes, they actually do. That's fantastic, guys. As I said, there was no wrong or right answer there. It was just interesting to see what people are saying. And 16% of you don't. So hopefully you guys will get some benefit out of tonight's webinar as well, and how you can maybe work your way towards that as well. For those of you that answered yes, hopefully we can get you there sooner. Conversely, so there's a positive light there as well if you have answered yes to that question. So who should be using Monefly is the other question we often get asked. And right now, that's a breakup between consumers and professional users. Right now, there's close to 500,000 professional users in Australia and 25 million Australians that should be our personal users. So I guess the figures I like to concentrate on is this group here. There's 13 million, which would be considered middle class, and 10 million of that 13 million are dissatisfied financially right now. So if you fall into either of those categories as well, I know I do, to be quite honest, and I know that obviously I'm looking to elevate that position. 7 million people have no savings, which is quite a scary thought. The great thing is though that we, 6.5 million own shares, 3.5 million own property, and 900,000 new mortgages have been signed per annum. That's obviously done by these 25,000 mortgage brokers, which assist those people in that function. And as you can see, there's also 52,000 financial advisors, 188,000 accountants, which is a massive figure, and 79,000 lawyers as well that are working in the professional space. So what we're looking to do is create a little bit of an ecosystem where, for as a personal user, you can have these people at your fingertips, and you can read a little bit more about them. You can understand what they are, who they do, get all those reviews in a centralized system and have it on demand. The good thing is that if you're already working with people from those categories, you can actually invite them to be part of your team on Monefly, and you can share information with them. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can do that, obviously, tonight, and how that would benefit you as well as your relationship with those professional users. So Monefly essentially is about building your personal balance sheet and understanding where you are. So obviously we have the poor, we have the middle class, and we have the wealthy. And what we're trying to do is push people obviously towards the right of the screen. To do that, we're using a variety of educational resources as well as professionals and subject matter experts. And we do have some fantastic features on the site, which will give you clarity over your position. And then obviously from there, it's about engaging the right people to help elevate that position, as is the title of tonight's webinar, and using our tools as well to do exactly that, and just deepen your understanding of where you're currently at. So, we're really here to educate you about financial literacy, but without the right tools and habits, little will change. And I know this from personal experience myself as well. It's great to have an understanding of something, but if you don't have the tools and the habits, then nothing is going to change as a result, and you're going to find yourself spinning the wheels, so to speak. So this is where Monefly steps in, and essentially the 5 core things that we're actually looking to help you guys with is, to grow your income, to reduce your expenses, to build your assets, to eliminate your debt, and help to protect yourself along the way as well. As sometimes the climb to the top can be a little bit risky, and we're here to help obviously identify those gaps. So what we do is we deliver a real-time view of financial health and wealth. So we have integrated bank, credit card, demographic, property share, and credit score data. We set and track goals against financial milestones. You can engage with a wide array of professionals using our professional directory and build knowledge with the educational resources that we offer. So we just recently added a whole bunch of content to our knowledge center. We've got some fantastic stuff in there on if you wanted to start investing in shares, or what it's like, or how you can step into the investment market in a property sense if you wanted to do so. So I encourage you guys to go and visit. There's some really great content there for you. So here's a little bit of snapshot. Now, if you're already using Monefly, this will look a little bit familiar to you. Maybe you haven't walked through all of the components, and that's okay. If you're looking to see what Monefly does and then maybe potentially join afterwards, great, fantastic. Then this should give you some insight. So what we're looking to do is take all of the information that people might have in various platforms. So property data information, your information on your assets, share information which ties back into the ASX. We've got our own automatic valuation model which will update the values on your properties and show your equity in real time and show you things like rental yields as well. Obviously, we've got all the bank integration as well, which is fantastic. It doesn't have the right to make any transactions, but it will show you transactions and live balances of those accounts, which can be incredibly helpful for checking your spending habits and then setting goals, obviously, to change those habits, tying back into, obviously, the previous slide where we were talking about you having the right tools and the ability to change those habits as well. So one of the other things, is really around managing income and expenses. So setting some goals, some financial goals is great, but also reducing your expenses. And as you can see, our tools will automatically break up all of that data for you and categorize it so you can see where you're spending money. So for example, you can say, well, look, right now I know that over the last 6 months I've spent $4,344 on entertainment and recreation. I might set a goal around that and say I want to get that budget down to $3,000 and sort of compress that by 25%. And this money could obviously be used for any variety of other things that you may deem important to you. It could be used to make a modest investment into shares, or obviously to save so that you can go and basically acquire more properties. It doesn't matter what you are intending to do with it. The point is that we want to give you the tools to be able to track that in a real-time environment. And of course, the great thing about Monefly is it's absolutely free to use. So it's not going to cost you anything to use our tools, and you're going to get all this fabulous software absolutely free. And you can sit there and track, as I said, your goals. So you can see here we've got some fuel budgets in there, rest and relaxation and travel, and how you're tracking against it. So in this I've spent a little bit too much on R&R and travel, and I've spent less than I anticipated on fuel, which is a good thing. So possibly because I've been away, traveling the world by the looks of things. So again, a personal balance in real time, and this is what you would see if you had a complete profile on Monefly and the platform. So you can see here that we've got credit score information and peer compare information, and these are some features that we'll be integrating over the next month for you. So you actually be able to obtain that data, which is going to be really great, and actually see where you are. We've got cash, which we've spoken about, property and share information, which has its own valuation model and also ties back into the ASX, so that you can see equity that you have in your share portfolio, assets and debt classes as well. So the idea is to give you this snapshot of your total net worth, which is obviously just a summary of all of the assets that you have minus all of the debt that you have essentially. But it's good to see your cumulative net wealth and how you're tracking as well, and how that changes across the course of time as you're ticking goals off and buying and selling property or stocks or assets, for example, or paying down on debt. So the great thing is that you can advise your advisors and build a team of people around you on a site that you can actually interact with them with, which is going to have some great functionality built into it, or already has some great functionality built into it rather, where you'll be able to file share in a secure environment and actually show these professional users. So for example, your broker is a really good example. You can say, all right, I want to give them access to look at my property portfolio information and nothing else. It's absolutely up to you, and that's the benefit. We're not forcing you to do that. We're just giving you the option to share that, so that your broker can then come in and say, okay, well, with the automatic valuations, we've noticed that you've had a bit of an increase in equity on your property portfolio. Did you know that you can actually go and finance another property? And they'll be able to do that. So it actually takes some of the legwork out for you, which is super helpful. I did mention those education resources before. As you can see, we've got many other topics as well. So how to make more money by freelancing, tax deductions on rental properties, claiming for home-based business expenses. All of these things are designed and are there to show, okay, here's how you can make more money or eliminate debt, or how you can avoid tax in a healthy and safe way. And all of that stuff is just around money saving content on a range of topics. And the professionals are actually going to be able to add articles to our site as well. So our professional users will be actually able to add their content that they think is relevant, which is going to be make it really powerful as a knowledge center as well. So that's going to be really great. We're going to have unique webinar content on a broad range of financial topics. Tonight's a little bit of a generic run through, obviously, the Monefly tools, but soon we'll be doing specialized content on a range of subjects. And essentially, it's around building your knowledge and building your wealth to create your financial freedom. And that's really the most important thing, is that last one. That's what we're aiming to do. So, if you join Monefly now, and again, it's absolutely free to do so, the first thing you'd be looking at is this. Now, for those of you who are already using it, you may have gone through some parts of the site. If not, great. This might be a good quick fly through and to show you how some of those tools work. So as you can see here, we don't have any data in here. It's really, really easy to go in and put more data in. And I'm going to quickly fly through this bit. We've got plenty of tutorial videos on there, but if you've got any questions, absolutely, please feel free to ask, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have on how you can actually go about utilizing all the components of our tools. So let's get into that. So adding cash accounts is really simple. All you got to do is click on the cash icon. That's going to take you through to search for a bank. Now, I know what you're thinking. The very first thing everybody thinks is, okay, well, hang on a second, I'm giving back bank information to this business, which I may not know as well as I'd like to. That is okay. I completely appreciate that. The simple thing for me to say here for you guys is that this information is actually handled by Yodlee, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about them in a couple of slides' time. But I'm just going to show you how easy it is to set up, and then we'll talk about the security. So you can search for your bank by name. As you can see, I've just chosen NAB, and then you can simply verify your credentials, and basically these will be the same details that you use to log into your internet banking, and also the same level of security is supplied that you would have to your banking details as well when you're logging into internet banking. Then you'll be able to view your accounts, and you can just select which accounts are relevant to you and connect them, and it's quite seamless. It takes less than 30 seconds to do from start to back. Now, we understand security, right? This is absolutely at the forefront of everything that we do. So Monefly uses Yodlee for transaction data. Yodlee has more than 70 million users worldwide and incorporates bank-level security. So Yodlee is actually trusted by 14,000 financial institutions worldwide. We don't store your login data. So no employee of Monefly will ever actually have your bank data. We don't store it. That's all done by Yodlee, and they're trusted to do this by accounting platforms, by banks, by numerous other financial institutions around the world. And if you've used services like Xero, as I mentioned, it's the same 256-bit encryption technology. If that's relevant to you guys, you understand, obviously, it's the same encryption technology that banks are using. It does not give the right to make transactions. It reads transactions only, so all you will get a visual over is the transactions being made, not the ability to make transactions. You're still going to have to log into your internet banking for that if you wish to do that, so we can't do that. The idea is that you can use this transactional data to then set those goals. As you can see, I've highlighted these here for you, and then you can go, okay, great. I'm going to set some goals around the key metrics that are important to me. So adding property is just as easy. All you've got to do is click on the property tab. You'd simply be able to go in and fill out this form, and you'll have obviously a street number, a property address, mortgage on the property, what type of property it is, if it's an investment property or a property that you're living in, purchase price, year of purchase. Great thing is that you can link straight to your debt account, so you can link through to your loan account, and if you want to engage an automatic valuation, you can simply just click there. Super simple. And then all you got to do is hit save, and that's going to take you through to our next screen, and that's it. That's all you have to do. You only have to do it once. You don't have to go back in and keep updating things. Our system is actually going to do it for you, especially if you're using the AVM, automatic valuation model. Sorry, that's the acronym. I know I keep saying that. My apologies. But an AVM is an automatic valuation model. So right now you can see with the AVM updating my valuation, I can see that I've actually got some equity in this property to the tune of 150,000, which represents a 41% increase over the purchase price that I bought it for, and in the time that I've owned it. So what I can also do is, as I'm adding more properties, I can check really cool things like, my annualized rent, what my actual rental yield is as a result, the council that it sits within, the land size, bedroom count, etc., etc. So you can also see that same equity figure. So now I know that I've got approximately $210,000 worth of equity available in my portfolio. So shares is the next one. Again, super simple. All you got to do is click on the icon. You just need to put in the 3-letter code for the ASX, how much you purchased them for, and how many you purchased. And then all you need to do is hit save. Pretty simple, right? And that'll link straight through to the ASX and actually provide live data on how much those stocks are now worth. So you can see here that I've actually gained 5,500 on my Telstra stocks that I own, and my TPG stocks I've actually made $1,700 on to date. So the good thing is you can see the trend across time as well, so that'll show you from the purchase date right through to when you owned it, and all that data is available, and we'll update in a live format for you. So again, super simple, and you can see what equity you have available in your portfolio. So assets are really a screen where you can add in any other thing that you think is relevant. So you can see we've got all these, things like businesses, artwork, equipment, jewelry, motorcycles. any form of vehicle really, unlisted company shares, superannuations, SMSF, and we're looking to automate a lot of the SMSF functionality moving forward for you. So you go in there. I've just used the vehicle in this example, so it's my vehicle. I've got great. Okay, it's a personal vehicle. Here's how much I purchased it for. Here's how much it's probably worth now. How long I've owned that vehicle for. It's 2016 Subaru Liberty. There we go. Great. That goes in. It's worth 24,000. It's a depreciating asset, as you can see. So that's actually losing value. However, in my SMSF, I've got 165,000. That hasn't changed. That's sitting on a flat line. But obviously, these ones will start to look to automate. So we'll actually have a link back to your SMSF and actually update those values in real time. Right now, that functionality doesn't exist, but it is something that we're looking to roll out in the next quarter, hopefully. So that should be available quite soon. So debts, that's the other one. So let's say we didn't link all of our debt accounts and we needed to create a manual debt account. Then I could set up a loan that I may have, and it might be for a business loan, for example, or it could be that you just have a small vehicle loan, or perhaps a loan on the Subaru that I just put into my asset class. So what you can do is you can select the type of debt, enter a name, give it a description, put the loan date, the original amount, the balance today, create the debt. The good thing is that you can also link that up to a actual debt account, and it'll actually show you in real time. So as you can see, the only debt accounts that I have are related to my properties, and they're actually linked through to the actual bank account transactions, so that they can be updated in real time. Super easy. So what we've got now is a much better looking picture of my actual net worth. And you can see here that my actual net worth right now is $654,000, which is great. We've only got $319 in my account, which is not so great. So that could use some fine tuning basically, and get some more cash back in. But that could be for any number of reasons. But I've got some equity available in those shares, so that's okay. I can afford to feed the kids, which is always good. So we've got now a much better overview of how we're actually performing, and then soon you'll have the ability to go in and get your credit score and see how you're comparing against other people that are in the same age bracket, same area, and see how much you're earning versus the rest of the flock, so to speak. So that's going to be really cool functionality once we get that integrated. So, okay, you're all probably saying, well, that's all well and good, but what can I actually do with this? Why is this all relevant? And what can I use this data to do? Because the subject of tonight was obviously elevating your finances. So here's what you can do. So property and debts are always a really good place to start. So what you could do is go into any of these and say, okay, I want to find a professional advisor. So you can go to our professional directory and you can start adding people to your team. So you can search or you can invite your professional advisors and just invite people that you are already dealing with in the professional circles. Or you can search our professional advisor directory, and by category you can find anybody obviously that you want. So accountants, bankers, buyers agents, conveyancers, brokers, advisors, lawyers, property investment advisors, property managers, real estate agents. It's all there for you, so you can actually search by category and have a look through. The great thing is that all of the professionals on our directory will have a rating system as well. They'll have links to their Facebook page, to their Twitter accounts, to LinkedIn. So you can do some homework on the people that you want to deal with, but you can also see how other people are actually interacting with them and how they're actually rating them. There's obviously a link to a company bio plus their own personal bio as well. So that's incredibly handy. If you don't know somebody in any one of those industries and you need someone, if you're looking to buy a property in Queensland but you're from Victoria, you want to look for a buyer's agent, great, just click on buyer's agent. And if you need property investment advice, great, no problems, go to property investment advisor. Broker, if you're unhappy with your current broker, you can actually do that as well. So, it's going to be a real benefit to you. So once you find your professional, you can see here that Veronica Smith is a broker or system, and what she's actually done is she's had some feedback, and here's a rating from David. And he's rated her and given her 4.5 stars, and basically said, okay, great. So you're going to have all of that information available to you to help you choose the right professional for you as you move forward. One of the great things is that you can actually apply for loans directly through the system. Now, this is going to save a lot of paperwork for you. It may not be immediately relevant to you. The reason why this is relevant is that all of the information that you have in our system, you can actually put into that application to make the whole process easier for you. So all you need to do is click on apply for loan, put in how much you need, what you're actually looking to do with the money, and when do you need the money by, and hit submit, and that'll be sent through to the broker within your team, which is great. Also gives you the ability to shop around, which is always good. So some of the other cool functionality is around having your own workspace. As I mentioned, there's a shared Dropbox function as well. So if you want to click on that, you'll actually be able to jump in. You can choose what data you want to share, and all you got to do is click on what data you want that particular professional to see. So you do not have to show them what cash you have in the bank. You do not have to show them your share account. If it's not relevant to what they're doing, don't show it to them if you do not wish to. That's fine. But we've also got the Dropbox integration, which actually will allow you to share files directly through Monefly. You don't have to use a separate part and drop files in there that's relevant. So you can start building your team. So great, you can get a finance broker. There's myself here as a buyer's agent, as you can see. And you can go, okay, great, well, look, how are these people doing? You can rate them. You can build your team around you, and these are the people that are actually going to go out there and help you, and you can interact with them all through the site. And it's absolutely free to do. We have no intent in charging consumers for this service at any time in the future. So this will always be free for you, and that's a really important thing to remember. So the outcomes will be that, through building these professional networks and having advisors there, you're going to significantly improve your financial results, or the returns from either your property or stock portfolios, or just your cash management, your tax benefits as well. And you're going to build better relationships with professionals that are going to help you to build wealth. So you can absolutely do that. The good thing is you don't have to do that if you don't want to. No one is forcing you down that path. It's up to you. If you want to interact with those professionals, you are more than welcome to do so. That's what we've built the platform for. If you do not wish to do so, then that's great. At least you can use the tools to have a little bit more of an understanding about where you're actually at and where you're tracking, which is really good. But we do have some fantastic professionals on the site, so we do encourage at least just having a conversation. It doesn't cost you anything but your time to start talking to people and seeing what they can actually do for you. So if you're thinking, okay, well, it all sounds pretty good, right? It's all free and it should help me. What about how you guys stack up against your competitors? This is normally the next question that I'm asked. So I've actually created this handy little table. So as you can see here, Monefly, we try and keep everything free across the board. And basically what we've done is said, okay, well, this stuff relates more directly to you guys. You can say, okay, great. I want the free access to all of this data. If you're using My Prosperity, for example, they have some components and are missing other components, but some of those components are paid as well. Pocketbook, has limited free functionality, and then it's just missing the rest. Same with Money Brilliance and MoneySoft, again, paid functionality. So I guess the question is that you can get it all for free. Why wouldn't you? So going back to the future and where we're heading is that we want to create this environment where consumers are getting these tools, and data and AI and engagement, and they will obviously collaborate with professionals. Professionals are going to help consumers, and they're going to use the same data and tools and engagement. And eventually, we want to head into the space of robo-advice and banking payment systems and P2P lending and information as well. So there's some very, very cool things that we want to bring in and bring them all under the one roof that you guys can benefit from and that you can leverage off to make your, investing journeys and wealth creation journey a lot better. So sign up for, it's free. It always will be. We don't ask for credit cards or anything like that. We don't ask for anything crazy details up front. It's just a simple, okay, guys, here's what you can use, and basically, realistically, first name, last name, suburb, postcode, put in a password and email address. We promise not to send you 80 emails a week. We have no intention of doing that, and you'll be able to, basically start using the tools tonight. If you so choose to do so, all you need to do is go to moneyfly.com. So Monefly, it's rocket science, right? And that's a bit of a quote from a managing director. So where to from here? Set up a personal membership for free. Invite your professional advisors to join. We encourage you to do that so that they're a part of your team right at the start, and that you've got them on your books so that you can interact with them. input the relevant data to the platform. And if you'd like to book in a free setup consultation, you're more than welcome to do that. We're happy to do that. We're happy to spend the time and talk you guys through the tools in a one-on-one environment. So please, by all means, feel free. We'd also say that if you want to analyze the data, you can set some goals to track your finances, check your equity in your property or stock portfolios, because some people don't realize that they have equity available already and you could potentially be lent to right now to go and acquire another property. Identify opportunities as a result or areas for improvement, and then start engaging. Reach out and build your team of professionals. Ask them for advice. Go to our professional directory. Have a look around. Let them present solutions and assist in building your wealth. What's the cost of your time, I guess? Get somebody else to do it if not. So if you'd like a hand to basically get set up, as I mentioned, we do have an engagement team which I head up. So I'm just going to launch a poll now quickly, and if you'd like a hand getting set up, by all means, just feel free to hit yes, and I will give you guys a call tomorrow, and we'll set up a good time. I'll shoot you an email if not as well, and you guys are more than welcome to reach out. So I'll just leave that open for 5 more seconds. Okay, just close that one off. Thank you to everybody, and I will absolutely reach out to the people who said yes. Great. Okay. So on that note, I think that's we're coming towards the back end of our webinar. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to submit them in the question sections. Otherwise, thank you for attending tonight. I do appreciate all of you guys taking the time out of your night. I understand it's quite late. So thank you very much. I hope you've learned something from it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing all you guys using the platform. And please, by all means, feel free to send me an email or give me a call if you guys have any questions. I'm always happy to help. So I will leave it open for a couple of minutes. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. Cheers.